All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Philip Dupuis, Philipdupuis. I'm the Chief of Police for the Conroe Police Department. With me also today is Tyler Dunman. He's the Chief of the Public Integrity Unit with the District Attorney's Office. We're here today because of the media inquiries to us in regards to a video that's out on social media. The video that's out on social media is like a 10-second video, so I'm going to play the video that's on social media, and I'm also going to play the in-car video from the incident from the officer that was involved, and then we'll make some statements and answer some questions after the video is played. That's what we're going to. The officers responding to an automobile crash on Airport Road near the intersection of East Dallas Street in Conroe. I'm not going to narrate the whole thing, but there's no sound right now, so I'm just going to try to give you some of the tidbits. He pulls up, and as you can see, the scene is off to the side of the road.
Under the truck, man. Hey, come this way, bro.
As you can see, the officer, once he approaches him, everybody that was on the scene was not telling the truth. Everybody that was on the scene knew that individual was under the truck and could have told the officer upon his arrival that that suspect was under the truck. Could have saved a lot of this. If the suspect would have followed commands, none of this would have happened. Them rolling into the ditch, and then all those other individuals approaching him, the officer did what he was trained to do. He did an open hand, pushed him back. The individual in the white shirt came back. He struck him one time as he was putting the other person into custody. I think that what is aggravating about the social media is that they edited it, put music to it, like that's all we do all day long. That officer was just minding his own business, answering a call for service to protect the citizens of this community, and the next thing you know, he's in a fight. And I think he handled himself very professionally. All of the officers on scene are polite to the public. After everything's figured out, there were some people put in handcuffs that were let go, that were not arrested because the arriving officers didn't know exactly what was going on. One of the media outlets wanted a picture of his mugshot where you can see right there the individual is not, he's fine. The officer is out of work. He's injured. He'll be back to work this week, but he was injured in this scuffle, and that's more concerning. None of y'all have asked about the officer. All y'all ask about is the suspect. Well, the officer has a family and mouths to feed, but he's okay. So with that, I don't know if you want to say anything. We just want to take questions. So if any of y'all have any questions, be more than happy to take some.
What injuries did the police officer suffer?
He hurt his hand, hurt his thumb. So he's got did not break it, but he has a strain, and he'll be out for light duty for just a couple of days.
Can you kind of explain a little bit more what happened once the suspect gets out from under the car? You know, kind of walk us through what happened.
When he gets out from under the car, the officer tells him to come his way, he goes the other way. When the officer gets around, he's trying to go to the back of the truck, and when he grabs him to detain him, he spins out of it and comes at him. He grabs him, and then they roll into the ditch. I mean, to the best of the play-by-play, that's what I can give you.
What was the cause of the accident? Did the people in those two cars know each other?
No. Yes, the people in the two cars knew each other. I think it was a one-car accident. It was a one-car accident.
What type of charges did he get?
The suspect this individual here got a DWI and resisting arrest, be DWI second offense, and the individual in the white shirt was charged with interfering.
Can you talk a little bit more about, you know, we get a lot of calls about things that are posted on social media. A lot of people record things all the time. Would you talk a little bit about, from your perspective, you know, what that's like and the danger of these little clips?
It's dangerous for us because people say you can hear the lady saying he's nervous, he's scared. Well, I don't know why he's nervous or why he's scared, but when you put videos of this out there, I mean, I can understand if somebody doesn't know everything, they could be nervous when they deal with the police. The fact of the matter is that police officers have a job to do. We do it very professionally. We try to deal with the public. If the public would just cooperate and do what they were told to do or asked to do, everything would work out a whole lot better for everybody. I mean, I don't know how to get across any more than that. Than if you just follow instructions, everything will be okay.
Did he mention what was, I'm sorry, the reason why he was under the truck?
I do not know the answer to that.
Now, is Salazar, that's the one in the dark colored shirt?
I believe so, yes.
So when the family claims this idea of excessive force or maybe even police brutality, what's y'all's response to that?
My response is that officer did exactly what he was trained to do. He did it very well, and I can't say enough about what he did. The other officers arriving on the scene, you saw him. It wasn't a panic. The other officer got on scene. He instructed him to go get the one that interfered. He went and got the one that interfered, and everything was. The officers aren't yelling or screaming. They're still asking them, please step back to the curb. Please follow my instructions. We're begging them almost. I think the officer did an outstanding job.
One of the other things we understand the family is claiming perhaps this idea of racially profiling or was racially motivated. What would you respond to that?
It was a traffic accident that we were called to come get. I would say racial profiling. Everybody there was Hispanic with the exception of the officers. I mean, I don't think that there's any profiling there at all. I think it would be very suspect if it would have been a African American or an Anglo hiding under a truck, probably would have got the same result. I mean, it's not normal to have a car accident and you crawl underneath the truck and hide. I mean, that's just not normal. But it is the second DWI. So, I mean,
What about those,
gotta go from there.
Chief, what about the safety of the officer too, walking up on something like that with a guy hiding underneath there and him not even knowing it, as far as him being assaulted or something?
I mean, luckily this was at 5 o'clock, I'm sorry, 7 o'clock in the evening. I mean, if it would have been dark, it would have been, you know, would things have happened differently? Probably so. Luckily it was daylight, probably scared the bejeebies out of him. I don't know, I haven't talked to the officers, but I can tell you what it scared me, knowing the guy was under the truck.
And the fact that he's outnumbered, being out there by himself.
That's
Not
correct.
knowing whether
He's out there by himself and thinking that he's walking up on a traffic accident and everybody's just gonna say, this happened. Next thing you know, he's in a fight. I mean, this is not a normal call for service.
And not knowing whether that guy's armed underneath there or not.
That's correct. And that's one of the things that police officers say, you know, it was a routine traffic stop, it was a routine, there is nothing routine. Here's a call for service, it turns into this, and it was a traffic crash, is all it was. That's what he got, traffic crash, and then it turns into this.
And to be clear, Salazar was not armed at all.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Do you know
And
who posted
the officer did not use any other weapon other than empty hand control techniques.
Do you know who posted that video, that 10-second clip?
I do not.
For the people perhaps online also mentioning on that clip, maybe the officer should have used a taser. Again, that goes back to the social media, the idea of people commenting. What do you tell those folks?
I mean, taser's an intermediate weapon. It's in our use of force continuum. I mean, our first use of force is verbal. Get out from under the truck, come towards me. Our second use of force is hands. You know, put hands on them, and then it escalates from there. The officer didn't have an opportunity to do that. I mean, he probably didn't think he needed the taser at that time.
You easily could have tasered the second guy that come up, and then we go into a whole nother thing of why did he tase him?
But if he tases the second guy that walks up, now he's got two individuals he's got to try to control, because the taser, once the taser is finished cycling, it's no longer effective. So then he'd have to give him another cycle because he's still trying to get this guy into custody. So I'm not going to Monday morning quarterback what the officer did. I think the officer did an excellent job. I think he did what he was trained to do with the tools that he had.
Does the officer have any previous complaints about excessive force use?
I do not believe so, no.
So moving forward, you have the ADAs from the Public Integrity Unit with the DA's office. Have you received any complaints about this specific incident on the books? Has anybody formally filed a complaint with your office?
No, we haven't received any complaints here at the DA's office, and I don't believe the PD has received any complaints as well. As per their policy, when they have a use of force situation, they brought it to our attention almost immediately. This happened back on July the 4th. We reviewed it, looked at the witness statements, got a full context of what had occurred, and it didn't even amount to an investigation needing to go forward. It's pretty clear when you look at the video, when you get the full context, not just the 10 seconds, that the officer was acting right in line with what he's trained to do. He was able to keep the situation as calm as possible through just physical hands, and ultimately everything was resolved fairly quickly. That's not what you see in the social media video that's 10 seconds. That's the dangerous thing when we begin putting our entire faith on a situation in a 10-second video. That's a scary situation for law enforcement, and it seems like countless times when you look back at the full video, you get a full picture of what occurred, and you see that the officer was acting right in line with what he's trained to do in that situation when he's won on a number of people approaching him while he's fighting with someone. So in our view, there is no investigation moving forward, and we feel comfortable with that.
So this was totally self-reported by Conroe PD. No member of the public has come forward to
Correct.
complain
No
at
member
all.
of the public has come forward. There's simply been complaints alleged by anonymous sources. I call them social media trolls that simply generate a buzz about a 10-second clip. But we know that in this day and time in law enforcement and police work that it's important for the public to get a full scope and not just simply look at what they see on social media. And so it was important for us to release the video working with the PD so that the public can see how this situation wasn't handled in its entirety, and I think they'll feel very confident that the Conroe Police Department this officer did an outstanding job.
How was it determined that he was driving under the influence? Was it a field test, a blood drawn?
Yeah, I believe, the investigation continues, and yes, field sobriety tests were done, and ultimately a blood draw was taken from him for our policy here, and he was booked in for a DWI second, meaning he has a prior conviction for DWI. Questions?
I would like to follow up. You asked how it was reported. We have gotten several phone calls from the public saying, hey, this video is out there. So we went and watched the video. And then, of course, we'd already watched the video through our use of force procedures and saw from this end. And then when we saw from that end, it's not totally anything what happened. So I can tell you that my city councilman received phone calls about it. So that's how it really came to attention. And then Friday, I believe Lieutenant Buckholz received phone calls from media saying that they're gonna post this. We want copies of the in-car video. So we thank the media for waiting till today so we could touch base with the DA's office about whether or not to release the video, because it is an active investigation, and we just want the truth out there. We're not trying to hide anything. We're a transparent agency. Professionalism and integrity is one of our keys here, and we just wanted to get what was necessary out there.
Did the officer have a body cam?
He did not. Any other questions?
How long has the officer been on the force for?
7 years. And I will say for the Hispanic stations, Mr. Freyer will do an interview for y'all in Spanish if y'all would like from the DA's office. If nothing else,
Are both of those videos on here, or is it
no,
just
just
the long?
just a single.
Just
How'd you get that?
I need a copy of that too.
Huh?
It was selectively handed out.
Yeah.
Who gave you
I
that?
thought you already handed them out to me.
So how many of y'all got them?
4.
4? So who else needs
I
them?
need one.
So, all right, we got them for y'all though.